Alright guys, this video is on dividing rational expressions. So it's going to be similar to the multiplying one because that's what we're going to end up doing. One thing that I want you guys to remember is the keep, change, flip that I went over with you guys like way at the beginning of the year when you were dividing fractions. So when you have something like this, you have two fractions, right? You have your numerator, which is a fraction divided by another fraction. You're going to use the keep, change, flip. So you keep the top fraction, change the sign from division to multiplication, and then you flip the bottom fraction. You're taking the reciprocal of it. So this is really important. You need to remember to do it. Another thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the fractions expressed in two different ways. You're going to see it as one big fraction, or you can also see it something like this. So 2 over 3 divided by 5 over 7. So in an instance like this, the first one is always your numerator, and your second one is always your denominator. So you would keep this fraction, change the sign in the middle from division to multiplication, and then flip the second one, okay? And I'll show you examples of both on how they're presented, but this is one thing that you need to remember how to do. Some of you guys have also seen something where you like group them like squares when you multiply them. That's fine too. You can do that here. It doesn't matter. So you keep the top one, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do this example. So we have like 2 over 3. We're going to change the sign from division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip this fraction. So here we have 5 over 7. We're now going to have 7 over 5. Okay, when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across, which is what we were doing in the previous section. We were just multiplying polynomials. So here you'd have 2 times 7, which is 14, 3 times 5, which is 15. It can't be reduced, and that's it. So that would be your answer. Now, of course, our examples aren't going to be this easy. This is just the properties that you have to follow. You're going to have something more like this. Okay, this is your numerator, your denominator over here. Also, one thing that I want you guys to do is to be careful the way you write it, because if you make like this division line here small, you know, something like that, you're going to confuse your numerators and your denominators. So make sure that you do a really good job at separating that. So you keep the numerator, you change the sign, and you flip the denominator. So we're going to keep 5a cubed b4 over 12a b8, change the sign from division to multiplication, and flip this fraction. So instead of having 15 on top and 8 on the bottom, we're going to have 8a6 on top, 15b6 on the bottom. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so here you have two ways to go about solving this. You can simplify whatever you want to the way it is and then multiply across, or multiply it across and then simplify. I'm just going to multiply and simplify at the end. 5 times 8 is 40. A cubed times a to the 6 is a to the 9. You add them, 6 plus 3 is 9. And this b4, don't forget about it, just carries across. 12 times 15, I have no idea what that is. Okay, that's going to be 180. Should have known that. A is going to carry over. B to the 8 times b to the 6. You add 8 plus 6 is going to give you b to the 14. Okay, so we've multiplied. Now we can simplify. I know. So let me show you how you could have simplified from the beginning if you wanted to. So if you wanted to simplify in the beginning, this is how you would have done it. We know that 5 and 15 can both be reduced by 5, so that would make that a 1 and this a 3. We also know that 8 and 12 can be simplified by 4, which would make that a 2 and that a 3. So when you multiplied across, you would have had 1 times 2 and 3 times 3 on the bottom. Okay, so that's what we're actually going to get here when we simplify this. We would have had 2 over 9 here. Our a's, we have a 9 over a. You subtract it. 9 minus 1 is 8. The leftovers are in the numerator. B4 over b14. You subtract them. The difference is 10, and the leftovers are on the bottom. And that's it. All right, that's all we're doing here. Okay, so it's up to you. You can either simplify in the beginning. Here you could have simplified if you wanted to. You could have made that a 2 here on the top if you wanted to here. Gotten rid of that one. Here you could have gotten rid of that, made this a 4, and done the same thing here. Okay, those wouldn't have simplified and you would have just multiplied straight across. All right, I have one more example for you and your practice problem. Here's your practice problem. If you want to copy it down, all right, here's the last example that we're going to do. So same thing here, keep, change, flip. Keep the first one, change the sign, flip this fraction. Now here you can simplify first if you want to and then multiply, or multiply and simplify at the end. Here I'm going to factor first. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and set it up first. So I'm going to have x squared minus 12x minus 45 over x squared minus 5x plus 6. Change the sign to multiplication, and then I'm going to flip this fraction. X to the fourth minus 16 over x squared plus 17x plus 30. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and factor this. So we're looking for the factors of 45, that's sum to 12. That's going to be 7 and 5, negative 7 and negative 5. So we have x minus 7, x minus 5. If you're lost, you need to go review factoring. Here we're looking for the factors of 6 that sum to negative 5. That's going to be negative 3 and negative 2, x minus 3, x minus 2. This is going to be the difference of squares. So we have x squared minus 4 times x squared minus 4 here, plus 4. And these can be simplified even further, which I'll do in just a minute. Here we're looking for the factors of 30 that sum to 17. That's going to be 15 and 2, x plus 15, x plus 2. If you're lost, I'm doing this here for each one. Go back and review that. Okay. This one we need to simplify one more time. X minus 7, x minus 5 here, x minus 3, x minus 2 times, this is going to be x minus 2, x plus 2, and then that's for this one here, and then I'm just going to repeat it for the second one, x minus 2, x plus 2, x plus 15, x plus 2. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and simplify. Whichever cancels out. 15 and 2 is 30, 17, yeah. Okay, so then x plus 2 here, x minus 2 here, and that's it. Yeah. Okay, so when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So we're left with this whole thing. I feel like something else should have canceled out. That's because 7 times 5 is not 45, so this is wrong. 45, that sums to 12. Negative 45. 12. That's going to be 15 times 3, negative 3. Word. Okay, so this is going to change. So this is x plus 15 here, x minus 3 here. Okay, so that's wrong. So now I can simplify even further. The minus 3's cancel and the 15's cancel. Very nice. So we're left with that over 1. There's nothing in the denominator. X minus 2, x plus 2 over 1. And we know that that is equal to x squared minus 4 over 1, which is just x squared minus 4. All right. If you have any questions, shoot me a remind, ask me in class, come in during lunch. You have 3 Khan Academies, I think, which include multiplying and dividing. So you're going to be doing a little bit of both in those. I think there's 3 of them. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, here is another look at that practice problem. I'll see you in class.